Greetings, Jedi Traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 31, day 2, Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, let's get into the daily stats. Econ data today. For the personal income and outlays, it was, that's right, flat red star event today for economic data for the week. Total number of setups for the week there on the top line today, looking at, that's right, 4 setups on the NQ, not bad. YM34 ticks ES18 and NQ pulling out 142. Overnight session, price action to the downside. Finally, market giving way as news out of Japan rattling markets a little bit here as moving to the downside, yen getting pounded. Just led in to a little bit of chop from the get-go. Almost that first 30 minutes of trading was almost to be avoided, and trend session predictor here on a 5-minute chart was long. Something I might start playing around with is maybe a 1 or 2 minute chart, maybe give us a different indicator there, but long was definitely not the indicator today, as the overall session trend was to the downside. There was the first setup to the downside post 30 minutes. That's right, I told you that first 30 minutes was chop. Session downside give us one trend after another, and nice beautiful charts, 5 in the red all the way down, with the 51.44 keeping you in trend as well. Everything looks great on a trend. It's a matter of how long do you stay in the trend, and bang, to the counter side, buy signal above the T350 with 2 charts in the green, price action above the 51.44 for the NQ, only getting a piece of the pie there. YM straggling a little bit, ES followed by the NQ on a nice move to the upside. All right, there's some early morning entries to the downside, and just trying to capture a little bit of the movement. There's the NQ back in on the sell signal to the downside, 50 below the 144, avoided that second setup. Again, there were a couple reasons why, with momentum really slowing down here. Finally, sell signal, and bang, it actually came down again and missed that entry as well. And back to the upside for a couple of entries here by the rules. A little bit riskier here move before the T350. No charts in the green, only the one above T350. But again, finding that price action breaking above the 50 EMA, willing to take the risk there with 90 plus ticks in the bank. You can go for a couple extra and put your stop at the swing size and see if you can get a runner. And obviously stopped out. And then patience to wait for the break above the T350 and the 50 EMA. All right, taking a look at the AD line as price action came down. That's right, price action on the AD line keeping you, for the most part, in the trend to the downside. A little bit of lift there at the end, but again, quiet session there towards the end of today's session. Take a look at the 5-minute charts. Price action again, crude struggling a little bit, continuing to come down, finding support at the cam low here. Again, overall picture from the market's downside, as you can see the levels of support down here. S3 on the YM all the way down almost to S3 as well, and the ES coming down, and you'll see here in a moment on the daily big pick. Why these levels? Well, we had on a 4-hour chart, we had moving averages there. So if I don't have one of my key lines, I go to the moving averages. I go to daily gaps or VPOCs to see if there was any support, and that's why we found support there at today's lows. But again, for the most part, going by the daily resistance lines, cam line, price action held up. All right, how do we do on the fib levels? Fib levels to the downside all got hit. Target lows downside, all 3 across. Daily gaps, YM closed it out at 18,197. Nice move, and all across the board. NQ rejecting now in this all-time high zone, pulling back. Nothing like a good pullback in a market that's been relentless to the upside. As you can see, even in the drive up, a couple of sessions where price action pushed downside. Again, what happens tomorrow happens tomorrow. We'll see what the overnight session pulls through. But again, crude continuing to make this gargantuous move downside, leaving an open gap behind 43.74. Next target down, 37.90. Yes, I even have numbers down below, 29.41. That could be a possibility if crude continues this drive down, as we've looked at the big picture all along here, and one open gap gets closed after another as long as that trend continues on the 4-hour trend. ES, which has been consolidating, I said somewhere along the line we're going to get a move, and today was that nice move, closing out the VPOC. Again, YM just about to the VPOC there, but price action on the YM doing a little bit of a U-turn here. NQ, for the most part, been rising there. If there's any continuation, watch for the VPOC's downside. Again, 608 VPOC is down below 42.90, and crude continues to just migrate downwards. Taking a look at the daily trend, starting with the crude here. Price action again, overnight session on the crude was to the downside. Oh, well, that was yesterday's. Price action got a little lift on the overnight session and then bang to the downside. Sell signal here, but it was the T350 here on 5 charts in the red that put you into the sell signal. Nice move to the downside. YM here, again, we saw the entries one after another. Again, as it gets down towards the bottom, sometimes tough to enter. You should have seen that 4 minutes right before the lunch hour closes East Coast. That's right, there was the move. Sell signal to the downside. There it is, 12:57. 3 to 4 minutes before the 1 o'clock hour. Got another sell signal, and then price action on the YM lifting back up. Take a look at the NQ again. Same picture on the NQ as one move after another. Very nice. It was this move. Just let it ride down as the tick on the AD line were deep in the red. So it was in no way not a bad move. Again, this here just a couple minutes before the top of the hour, 1 o'clock. Price action, again, tried to get a lift here to the T350. Got stopped out, and then to the upside and missed the latter part of the trade, and just chop it out the rest of the session. Just let it go. ES again, price action here, nice move to the downside as the overnight session was already to the downside. Midnight open all the way above, sell signal. Again, another couple sell signals downside, get your price action above. That's what I was waiting for. Break above that T350, and there you went to the upside. So called that out, and anybody who was on that, great entry. All right, take a look at the gold. Gold very smooth, nothing like the other indices. Gold moving up here, buy signal, again pullback, and there it was. That's overnight session, much smoother in the US session. Buy signal, pullback, buy signal, each making higher lows to the upside. Very nice smooth transition, simply placing the stop at the break even swing size. Nice move. Take a look at the euro again, very smooth, not many entries after yesterday's session. Buy signal overnight session, midnight open, and there it was, US session to the upside. Buy signal above the T350, 5 charts in the green, hold you in trend on the HA bars, sweet trending candles. All right, as we move into tomorrow, again, no indicator of what happens overnight, indicator of what happens during the day session. Price action on the crude continues to pull back after breaking the 50 and the 200. Watch that 61.8 down here at 38.26. Remember, we have an open gap. That's right, there it is, 37.90. Very highly likely that we might go get it if price action continues downside, as we have all three moving averages and 50 below the 144. Taking a look at volume across the board, above average today, a nice 50. Still above the 140, 50 and 200, so price action holding above. So there it is. That was the resistance there. Price action 144 EMA on both the YM and ES. YM breaking a little bit of that barrier, so it was the ES finding support at that 144 EMA as we still hold above Fibonacci target 1. Nothing like a good pullback. NQ finding that support at the 50 EMA as well. Still holding above that 50 EMA, and price action now on the ES and YM still holding downside. So to get this trend back up, we'll want to look for that support off the 144. We break the 144 EMA, we look to the open gaps, and the next level down, we look on the daily 50 for that support as we move into tomorrow. So what continues that support? Well, let's take a look at the VIX today as the VIX continues to test that caution level, number 12 right there. That caution level is, that's right, that sell signal in the market, and that's exactly what we got. Price action bounces up. As long as that VIX continues to move back upside and breaks at 144, expect the market to come off if we get that. Now, if VIX finds that resistance here and chops inside, that's exactly what we're going to get on the overall market. Let's go into the market cap leaders as Apple off all the earnings, big market cap leaders off last week. Again, big picture still remaining in the green. So looking at the three charts upside, again, price action not helping today with the pullback. Again, big picture still in the green, three charts on top, weekly, daily, 4-hour chart. 50-200 on the daily and weekly, 50-144, and a T350. Price action pulls back. You look for the intraday entry on the smaller time frames. We have a 100-tick chart here, 150-tick chart here, and a 200. As price action pulls back, gives you an opportunity to enter, splice into the long entry. Remember, price action came up and closed the daily gap on Apple. We do have a daily gap off earnings here down at 97.97. But right now, current trend, we'll want to see, obviously, if the market is to pull back, we'll watch for those key levels for support, 50 and 144, as well as the T350. Once we get the pullback, we'll take a look at the price action in a couple days, see if there's an opportunity on Apple back to the upside. Again, pullbacks are great setups to splice into the longer trend. Take a look at Amazon. Again, Amazon price action to the upside coming off earnings from last week. Big long range there. Again, pullback in the market, still holding above the 50s, so the big long term here is Amazon holds up in the 770s here. Price action upside daily and weekly. Pulling back here again off the earnings. Again, we got to go see. There's the earnings. Sorry, that's Monday. So there's the earnings last week. Price action again a little bit choppy. So what do I want to see? Well, I want to see on the 200. I want to see that price action break above that T350. It just barely broke above T350 and really didn't hold after the market closed and follow through for the next day. So that's a good sign that Amazon did not have a good follow through in the market. So you wait for the bigger time frames down here to hold above that T350, which we had on the 150 but not on the 200. So you'll wait for that price action to break above that T350. The 150 will be upside. You look for your entry on the 100-tick chart, and that will splice you into the 4-hour chart, which is green all across the board. All right. Take a look at Facebook. Facebook again coming off earnings from last week. Facebook looking good in the green up here all the way across. Pulling back, price action here on the 4-hour chart gives you a good opportunity to splice into Facebook as long as you have fundamental reasons to believe that it might be a good trade. If you're looking for the entry short, again, same opposite direction. You'll look for price action on the 200, the 150, as well as the 100-tick, which is now downtrend. Wait for the 3 intraday, which we have now in the red, price action below the 50. Look for support down to the 50. 4-hour chart, though, finding resistance here. I want to see the follow through. The best trend to the downside would be if Facebook broke the 144 on the 4-hour chart. Then I could look to the daily for the support downside here at the 50, which we have here. And if we break the 50, we look back down to the 200. Again, we'll want to pay attention to the weekly support as well. All right, so look for that intraday. Now, if we're going long on Facebook, you want to get, again, this is a pullback. Wait for price action on the HA bars to lift back up. T3 moving average is back upside, so find support at the 50. Wait for the splice. Wait for the support here. If I go green, green, and green, and I'm up in the green, that's a good momentum back to the upside. All right, last three, taking a look at Alphabet Goog. Has price action here, just chopping away. Looking on the big picture on the weekly, still upside together with the daily. And again, slight pullback here on today's price action. Again, never got that follow through on the 200. Started to find it on the 150. I want to see follow through on the next day. Price action to the upside. Did not get it. Do have an open gap down here at 748. So no no momentum yet that will continue the upside, that will continue this 4-hour drive until these 3 charts on the left get that momentum. Now, if you have a fundamental level that's where you splice into the trade, great. If you're looking for the short, well, you got a better likelihood that that might end up following through if price action continues in the red here and we follow through on the 200 tick chart here. I would look down to 748 to close the open gap, which would be just below the 50-period moving average and in between the T350. All right, taking a look at Netflix. Is Netflix coming off last week's results? Again, big picture struggling here. Weekly in the red below the T350. Here we have the Netflix on a daily still holding downside resistance here at the 50. Again, T3 moving averages holding above the 50 EMA, but 50 still below the 144 as the T3 moving averages are holding upside. So we do have green on the shorter term picture as we're stuck between 2 open gaps. Resistance here at the 50 on the daily. as we saw right here, same charts, this regular trading hours with the open gaps. So what do we have? We got price action following through. So Netflix again came down last week. I said last week you'll want to see for the breakthrough to the upside to make sure you have a solid trend back upside. I like the resistance here on the 200 or support off the T350 holding upside, didn't come off too much today. Again, Netflix holding above on a win 50, so you look for the entry on the 100 tick, which splices you into the 4 hour, which holds you up. But a little concerning as Netflix is struggling here to get above the daily 50 period moving average. All right, and finally Starbucks as we wrap up the market cap leaders. Again, same with earnings out last week. Price action getting a lift, but falling back now to the T3. Excuse me, to the 144. Again, resistance there at the 200, coming back down to the open gap. It's stuck between the two moving averages. Again, follow through to the upside above on the 200 and the 150 and the 100 here. But T3 moving averages on the 4 hour charts has not been able to follow through. So you want the 4 hour chart to be moving back upside and then the follow through on the small intraday chart, and we don't have that yet. So let's watch for what happens here on Starbucks at the 144. Again, daily picture struggling up here at the 50. All right, that's your market cap leaders for Tuesday, August 2nd. As we roll out the rest of the week, we got Bank of England coming out on Thursday with any monetary policy, ADP employment and mortgage applications tomorrow. Watch out for the EIA petroleum report. Biggest numbers coming out of the end of the week, jobless claims and employment situation. Boy, what a time. We are into August. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, I leave my bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, if you're interested in attending a free session on Fridays, please feel free to email me, David at TradingFibs.com. Hey, have yourself a Blue Zone day wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing. Good day, good night, and good trading to ya.